I'm not going to really put the actual interview on this video because my boyfriend Ervin has already done that. So if you want to hear snippets of the interview that Athena, aka Ember Moon, did with Chris Van Vliet, I will leave a link to his video for you to hear the entire thing. But I'm just going to have my thoughts about this. When it comes to the women's division, I absolutely love the NXT women's division, the black and gold brand, because around the time of the black and gold brand, you saw these women for the talent, for the skills, for who they were as a character and the storylines they were in. You saw how strong they were. Not just Sasha and Bayley and all the people, all the four horsewomen. There were other women there. Ember Moon definitely did catch my eye because her character was very unique. I didn't know whether or not she was a she-wolf or whether or not she was a demoness. I have no idea what she was, but I absolutely love how completely gristled and just how completely grimy, well, not grimy, but she seemed like a very rough character, and I really did just love her look. I really did. Besides her wrestling skills, she was pretty hardcore. I mean, I think it was her finisher was known as the Total Eclipse, and it looked devastating with every single hit she did. And I absolutely loved her run with Asuka. Her run with Asuka was probably the best run she has ever done. And I enjoyed every bit of it, especially heel Asuka. But it's a shame to hear that she had to go to these meetings that pretty much indirectly told them to dress sexier, when there was no need for that. Around the time of the black and gold brand, these women were really showcased for their talent and for their characters alone. There was no need for that. And especially if it had nothing to do with the character they had, why do that? Now, Mandy Rose, and she was mentioned in the article, not article, but in the podcast, it makes sense for her because she was kind of portrayed as, let's be honest, she was the blonde version of Eva Marie. That's kind of how she started off to be, the blonde version of Eva Marie. But even she's trying to break away from that because before she left the main roster to go back to NXT, and that whole thing between her and Sonya Deville, she did not want to be portrayed as a Barbie doll anymore. She wanted to be taken seriously, and seriously she is being taken, being a part of Toxic Attraction and NXT 2.0 right now. But going back to Athena, aka Ember Moon, she didn't need this. Like, she didn't really need to be dressing sexy at all. Her character being catered to kids, I don't know if a she-wolf or a she-demon would be catering to kids. I'm just saying. But as for her dressing sexy, let's be honest. And I heard what Ervin said in his past video. He actually did have an apology, even though he still believes that the whole thing is just weird. But, well, not weird. But anyway, the fact is, she's curvaceous. When you're curvaceous, whether you're top heavy, bottom heavy, or both, no matter what you wear, you're going to showcase something. No matter how much you're trying to hide, people are going to notice. So I'm not going to say that she was dressing sexy on purpose. It's just her ring attire is always going to be a little bit more fitting because she has a shape. And I'm just going to stick it with that. But the fact that you had to go to a meeting to explain to women that they had to dress sexier is just insulting in a way. Like, especially if you know you're talented. Now, if you know that your gimmick is pretty much being a diva or someone who is obsessed with looks, that makes sense. Like, if you're somewhat of a female version of Prince Pretty, that makes sense. So I understand if you want to go to meetings like that, if that fits your character, but if it doesn't, it comes off as insulting. And I understand if she was insulted by this, because that's the polar opposite of what her character is supposed to be. Her character is supposed to be fierce. Her character is supposed to be completely vicious and violent. I mean, I think it was her Total Eclipse. I think that's what it was called for her finisher. And it looked devastating. It really did. But there was a particular tweet that kind of did catch my eye. And this tweet came from Lina, aka Nia Jax. And let's just say that when it comes to this tweet, she pretty much implied that it's a shame that some women weren't able to have the ability to, not necessarily, she didn't say this verbatim, but blackmail the higher ups. If she had to blackmail the higher ups in order to keep her job, I'm not really surprised. Because Nia Jax I already had a term for her that was really crude, so I'm not going to really go into that right now. But the fact is, she has botched more times than I can count. She has injured multiple people in the long career she had in WWE. So anything that she has to say, in my humble opinion, I take it with a massive grain. But I believe this tweet. I really do. If she blackmailed people in order to keep her job, it makes sense. Because everybody and their mom and dad and whoever was a wrestling fan was saying that she probably used The Rock in order to keep her job. Everyone said that. And this kind of seems a bit more plausible. I'm just saying. But that's a whole different video for a whole different time. But anyway, y'all, I want to hear what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let me know how you feel. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.